I'll call the roll if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay. Representative Howard. Mr. Lawson. Dr. Morris.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
I'm here.
Mr. Green.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
We have quorum, so we're gonna begin our meeting. It is 10:02. So I call this meeting to order. Adoption of the agenda. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Could I have a second? I'll second. It's been properly moved and second that we adopt the agenda. Those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it, so the motion passes. Discussion and action item. Do I have a motion?
Do we need,
Have a second?
Need to call.
do we need to discuss these?
I'll second. Those in favor, vote by saying aye.
So,
Aye. Okay, we are in discussion of action item. The first one, A, position overview.
No, you're in the wrong one.
Oh, I'm in the wrong one?
Yes. This is yours, Dr. Morris.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Approval of the NOLO bus project purchase order. Ms. Ramson.
Good morning. We're moving along with the low, no emissions bus grant that we received. And our next step now is to issue a purchase order for the purchase of the vehicles so they can start production. It'll take about a year for that to happen. And because of the amount of this purchase order, we of course bring it back before you guys to approve and then take it to the full board for approval before issuing it. The majority of this amount that you're seeing will be paid for with federal grants, whether it is the low-no grant or the balance will be included in an annual 5307 grant. So let me see if I can give you the amount. The local match will be about $700,000 between the two. Again, this is not due until after the vehicles are here. We don't pay for anything until we own them, till we have them here. And then at that time, we will draw down the federal funds as match to our local funds. So all I'm asking for is approval to issue the purchase order so they can start building our buses.
Now, it will cost us $700,000 once the buses arrive.
Approximately, yes.
Oh, okay, and our net here is $4,497,000.
Yes.
Okay,
That's the total cost of the buses. That's not the entire project, but that's the total cost of the buses. And when we submitted the application, the overall application for the low-no grant, it was included in that some of the funding would come from future 5307 funds.
okay,
So this was not a surprise.
okay. Do I have a motion to accept this and send it to the board?
So moved.
I have a second. I'll second. Those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the motion passes. We're moving on to approval of change order, new age security rate increase. Mr. Deschamps.
Yes, sir, to all board members. New Age Protection, they provide our security down at Comic Central and in other ways throughout our transit system. And as you know, also too, we've been looking at streamlining that where they will be the main security that we will have there at Comet Central and to support our whole system. And what that means, and Ms. Byers can get into this in a little bit more detail, but that means we in a meeting earlier, we did talk about eliminating CPD. And a lot of that was based on the service we were getting from them, but also they were asking for an increase in their rate also. And in our discussions with New Age, quite naturally, what they came up with based on what we were looking at also is they're looking for an increase in their rate to provide the additional manpower that they will need also. So currently, the rate that they have is $22.40. That's the current hourly rate. And they're looking for a $17 increase, which would take that to $39.40.
Oh.
What this will allow them to do is also give their current staff an increase, but also will allow them to recruit and hire new staff. And in our conversations with them, they've kind of started that process of identifying candidates. And one of the number one challenge that they're running into is trying to find someone at the current rate. And that's part of them asking for the new rate, because that will help them recruit and fill the staff that will meet our security needs throughout the whole system. We do feel that once we eliminate the other parties that were involved, this will probably be about a wash. It may even save us some money. And then we feel that because we have one source, New Age, I think we will even get better service from a security standpoint throughout the transit system. So I would like the committee to consider this, and any additional questions, we'll be glad to address those at this time.
Okay, you've heard the report from Mr. Deschamps. Are there any questions? I have some. You say our current hourly rate is $22.40.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if that's what we're paying now, are they asking for additional $17?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Did you?
And
Go ahead.
that's below what we were paying the other, let's, for example, CPD. And also on top of that, CPD is now asking even for more for their rate to continue.
We were paying Richland County Sheriff's Department $45 an hour. So we eliminated that service.
Okay, so, and we talked, well, let's go ahead with this first. So you're talking about $17 increase, which would be $39.40. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's sort of steep. What are others getting?
We looked at what we were paying the others, like Richland County and CPD and Casey.
Mhm.
And but they were 45. So
Yeah.
even this new rate is what, almost not quite $6, I'll say $5 less per hour than what we're currently paying.
Do you have any comments from other board members?
Mr. Chair, yes, I've got a couple questions just to help me understand. Are we getting any changes to our per hour service? Does this represent, let me back up. Is this rate per officer per hour?
As far as their rate,
Yes.
this is an overall rate. So the hourly rate for that particular officer would be less.
Okay. So it's an hourly rate to New Age Security,
Right.
but is that for one officer per hour? Or are we getting more by virtue of the increase, the hourly rate increase? Are we getting another officer? Are we getting?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. As far as staffing, they have to make sure that they have two of their staff security there at all times.
What are they doing now?
The only one, because we were covering that with Richland County, CPD, Casey, so this allows us to have one security, but but as far as the number of hours, they will cover all hours with 2 staff person.
And so so I'm clear, this new rate is per hour, not per officer per hour.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so it actually looks like to me a really great deal if we're getting an extra officer.
And when you say that hourly rate, that's kind of, from the company standpoint, an all-inclusive rate, which would include your benefits and things like that. Also too is
Right.
into that $39.40 an hour.
If I'm hearing you right, we're paying $17 per hour to get an extra officer.
Yes, I guess so, yeah. Yeah. you can look at it
Essentially,
that way.
I mean,
Yes.
after it washes. I mean, if that's true, then I think this is a good deal and I can support it. But if it's a 75% increase without any change in their service to us, I would have a hard time with that, even recognizing that the actual certified police officers are much more expensive. I do see that point, but I think we do need to, if we're going to shift away from that model and pay New Age Security more, I think we need services that are consistent with that increase.
Right. And also one way that we looked at this also is we're used to, and we have a good working relationship with New Age. But when we look at our relationship with CPD and Richland County, it actually requires more time of our staff because they don't live up to the requirements. So it's, say, for example, over the course of the past year, Jackie spent a lot of time following up with people that didn't show up for their shift that we never heard about, or someone that signed in and then we couldn't find them, and we had to address these things. So actually, I think it will benefit our staff, and they can be more effective in other areas and even more support to New Age, which I think we will end up getting a better product from them.
Mr. Smith, do you have another question?
No, I think that answers it. Again, if my understanding is correct, that we're essentially getting a second officer or another officer per hour for this extra $17, then I can certainly support this rate change.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Deschamps, some time ago, maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, we talked about downsizing in terms of if not security, but police and others. Have we done that?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
So what did we eliminate?
We eliminated Casey Police Department
Okay,
and Richland County Police
Okay.
Department. We still have CPD on board.
okay,
So once we get the extra New Age security officer, then that will eliminate CPD.
okay.
And also too, CPD's substation is next door to Comet Central.
Okay.
So we need them, they're like across the street.
Just call.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Okay,
And we're looking at an effective date of February 1st, 2023. for
okay.
this.
Now, what does the staff recommend?
Well, the staff recommend that the Finance Committee approve the increase that New Age has submitted.
Okay. All right, you've heard the recommendation from the staff. Do I have a motion on this? What's your pleasure?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. You make a motion that we approve the staff recommendation. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Okay, all in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposers? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay. Before we move out of discussion and action items, let me back up a little bit and thank Ms. Ramsey for doing an outstanding job. They are bringing in us this additional dollars, and just keep on doing what you're doing. This is a big chunk of money, and we really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Legal contractual items. Do we have Attorney Baker on the line?
Yes, we do, sir.
Oh, okay. Why don't, at this time, we would like to go into executive session. Do I have a motion?
Dr. Morris, before we go into executive session, we also have Deborah Martinez. So I just want to make sure that you would be okay with her being in executive session as well.
Oh, sure. We want to hear from her. Good morning, Ms. Martinez. Anyone else you brought with you?
Yes, today I have Steve Shearer, and I believe Lenny might be on the line with us as well.
Okay.
And that's it.
Good morning, Mr. Cooksey and other guests. Okay, do I have a motion to go into executive session? I make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss a contractual matter. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that we go into executive session. Those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, we will go into executive session.
Give me a couple of minutes. And it's 10:19 right now.
Okay, Mrs. Martinez, you back? Can you hear us, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're back out of executive session now. We have a motion, Mr. Smith.
Do we need to vote to come out first?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Do we have a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Second, it's been properly moved and second that we come out of executive session. Those in favor, vote by saying yes.
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 Okay, yes, as it, so we're out of executive session. We discuss in executive session contractual issues, and now we have a motion that we're going to put on the floor.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that Burr Foreman be authorized to enter into negotiations with RapDev for applicable amendments to the contract on behalf of the comment, consistent with discussions in executive session.
I'd like to second that motion.
It's been properly moved and second. All in favor of the motion, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion unanimously passes. Okay, could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second.
Proper move and second that we adjourn. Those in favor, vote by saying aye.
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 Thank everyone for your participation. We certainly appreciate all the information you gave us. Thank you. Have a
Thank you
nice-
for your time. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah.